Beyond white shores, adrift on the crystal blue waters, a strange creature floats. That was how I intended to start this video, but as things often go, they don't always work out the way we intend, and this is one of those times. But you know what? I'm still happy with the results, which is always good. So yes, we are starting with a new Nookling species. Subspecies. This one is aquatic and is the largest of all the species to date. However, yeah, I had this vision in my mind of what they would look like, sort of, you know, having some Nookling elements still, but pulling elements from other animals that exist in our world. But don't get too attached to this sketch. For one thing, I don't know what's going on with the tail. You'll see it more clearly when I do the line work on this guy. But I do a side view because for this one in particular, I really wanted to have a side view as well because of how the markings work on this one. I just thought it was like really necessary. So that we could see the full sort of effect of the markings. Yeah, just one of those. Yeah, and you know, to begin with, when I started sketching this, I was really enjoying it, thought it was going really well. And as I say, couldn't be happier with how he was looking, how this species was looking, and yeah, like I say, really happy. But as I say, as I add the line work, you'll see what I mean about the tail. Yeah, I still don't know what, I mean, I know what I wanted it to look like, was so that the tail was sort of coming round and off to the side, but it looks more like it's growing out of his stomach. So yeah, that would have to change at some point. And also, you know, I've got these webbed hands for these guys, thinking, you know, they'd still be able to help creatives out with their hands like with the others. But yeah, again, that's something that will change, but I don't want to give too much away just yet. I'm gonna stop waffling for a little bit, gonna put some music on, and then we shall catch up in a bit. So if you can't tell, these markings are based on neon tetras. I love neon tetras. You know, we had Fish Tank growing up and we had plenty of neons, and yeah, they're just really pretty fish. And just kind of classic as well. If you've got a tropical fish tank, chances are you're going to see these guys in there. Yeah, just such fun colours. And no, I didn't realise that the one at the top was way out of shot. I should have known, but hey ho. Oh, and yes, I do start writing information. Now, these guys don't have a proper name like the Thestian Nooklings, and part of that is because I don't think I've named half the seas on Midgard yet, and I sort of want to wait till I've done that before I give them their proper name. And yes, I am writing in pencil first because of the mistakes I made in the last one. Yeah, I wanted to kind of make sure I didn't make any spelling mistakes for these, but yeah, it's not gonna last. And because of the changes I've made, I didn't actually readjust the text to go with these, but basically they're the same. So here we go. I overall, I wasn't happy with them. Not just where the tail position was, but there was something still off. And I'm sorry about the camera wobble on this one. I did not move my desk. I think I've mentioned before, my desk is pushed up against the drawers where my tripod is attached. I don't always have it right. I try not to keep it pushed up. I try and pull it away, but sometimes I forget to move it, and yeah. Plus, all the loose floorboards up here, there tends to be some wobble at some point. I do try and avoid it as best as I can. But yeah, the other thing with these guys, I wanted a bit more sea otter in them, which is sort of where the head shape is based, kind of, especially the nose. And I just thought, you know what, I want these guys not to be fully aquatic, as in they don't live and breathe underwater like sea otters. They float on the surface, but they can dive down and stuff, because I thought that would be way more fun. The tails I've based on a whale fluke, which I believe I used. What did I use? I think it was an orca. I actually can't remember. But it was just, you know, a brief reference that I wanted to get the basic shape idea from those. And then the final thing I add, which were kind of there in the first one but not as pronounced, were lionfish spines. Lionfish are just so cool. I did think about colouring one like a lionfish, but then I looked more closely at how a lionfish is coloured and just kind of went, not this time. Maybe another time. So yeah, and I love the idea of them also having poison tips like the lionfish do. So yeah. Oh, and here we go off the top of the screen again. I will fix that, I promise. I did try it at one point, putting markers on my desk where sketchbooks were supposed to go so that they would be in shot. Didn't always work. So yeah, kind of pointless, but there we go. Anyway, the other thing I have changed is the feet. They are more based on sea otter paws. Sorry, too much talking. Yeah, and I just think it looks a lot better for them than the sort of webbed hands. Yeah, just more, I don't know, just more what I wanted, I suppose, especially as they're going to be more sort of surface creatures, and you know, they can live on the land. And onto colouring these guys, and I wanted to do something a bit different. First one is based on a great white, and I had such a hard time not calling him Bruce. Let me tell you, I really wanted to call him Bruce, but no, we're not going down that road. Yeah, it just, yeah, if you know, you know. I do love Bruce. He's such a great character. Yeah, but time to stop waffling. The one on the bottom, she is a more unique design, and I do use some I love asymmetrical characters, so there is some asymmetry for her. But I'll catch you up when I start on the colouring sheet. So as with my previous subspecies of Nooklings, I have created a colour chart. Yeah, it was a bit cold that day. I don't think I've mentioned this, but I actually have Reynards, and yeah, sometimes my hands are really cold. I try and remember to take my gloves off before I start recording, but I don't always remember. So if you see me with gloves on at any point, that is why. Yeah, is what it is, basically. So just adding all the different colour patterns, but again, like with the Thestian Nooklings, I have left some blank so that I can add some later on. And the other thing with these guys, I was so tempted to just do fish patterns from, you know, general fish from Earth, but the fact that, you know, these guys are technically meant to be from Midgard, which I'm not sure I mentioned in the Thestian video, is I am not 100% certain if all of these will, I mean, they may not make it into the books anyway, but, you know, some of these are more just for fun, just for the channel, but, you know, we'll see. See where the writing takes me as I continue on with the stories. But yeah, like I say, I'm really happy with these guys, and I love creating all these subspecies. It's so much fun coming up with the different designs and the different color patterns, color palettes, whatever you want to call it. Oh, this is one of my favorites, this one. This is the one actually based on a sea otter, just color wise, and yeah, I really love him. It took me a little while to decide on his name, mostly because I really wanted to call him Oscar, but I have a character called Oscar, so I couldn't. It's not one I'd necessarily draw again on the channel. In fact, I'm not sure I did actually draw him on the channel. May have been in my original create this book where I did the letters page. He's an otter hound, yeah, and his name's Oscar, so I did have to come up with something else, and I think I picked an okay name for him. Then moving on to blue patchwork, which I've done for the other two species of Nooklings. So I think that's the one that's going to be for every version. There's one there might not be a blue patchwork version of, but we'll get there when we get there. You know, I don't want to give too much away. Then I move on to another favourite. This one is clownfish. I had to do a clownfish because I've done a great white. You know, it'd be silly not to. But no, he's not called Nemo. And yes, I think I did a slightly different version of the clownfish. There's one that's got more black stripes on it, and that's what I used as reference for this one. Not entirely happy with where his white stripe is on his face. I may move that when I draw him again. It's just very difficult to sort of translate some of these markings, but I think on the clownfish it's more behind the eyes, but we'll see if I draw him again, or you know, when I do a side view of him. That's probably going to be the best way to sort of decide on what I do for that one. And the next one, oh, this is just some touch-ups where I forgot noses and eye colours and things. This next one, unintentional, this one, the colour scheme, and he reminds me of Frisket. I don't know if any of you remember Reboot. I loved Reboot as a kid, and I'll flick up an image. You know, he's just such a goofy, fun guy. Yeah, I didn't go into this with him in mind. I just put these colours together and went, oh, that's Frisket. Okay. Just one of those. But I love how he turned out. And I nearly forgot to do a neon tetra version of these guys, but he is going to be the last one on this page. But I'm going to stop waffling, let you guys enjoy the final few steps, and I'll see you in the outro. I really love how these guys turned out in the end. You know, it went from this, which is a little questionable, especially let's just not talk about that, you know. But yeah, I think this was such an improvement, and I'm so glad I redid them and didn't stick with the original design, because, you know, sometimes your original design isn't what you wanted, or you just think of something better, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Just try again if necessary. But yeah, if you've got any ideas for any other Nookling species, I'd love to hear them. I've got some in my mind, so you may end up picking those. We shall see. Don't forget, we're almost at 100 subscribers, and when we hit that goal, I will be doing a mini Q&A. So if you've got any questions, also pop those in the comments down below. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Remember to stay uniquely you, and I'll catch you Nooklings next time.